Hello, hello. Let's see if this is working. It looks like not quite. Let's see how we're doing. I think it kind of started, but then there was maybe a bit of a lag. I don't know. There we go. I can see movement. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Can everybody hear? Hello. Good evening. There are loads of us here already. Hello, Aztec. Oh, Aztec's in the escape room. Hi, Caprice. Sean, Dark Souls. Robbie. Hello, Robbie. Phil Collins. Hello, Neil. Lovely to see you. Hey, everybody. Sean, thank you so much for being my amazing mod in the chat. If we do get any dodgy visitors, please would you be able to hide their comments, and we're just going to kick anybody and ban them immediately. So hopefully we won't be interrupted. Hello, Jim. Hello. My hair is growing really quickly. In particular, I don't know if you can see, this is the grey is all coming in this patch. I decided to age gracefully. I'm wearing my new skeleton hoodie. I've edited the first, I've been editing Trench Crusade, so I'm feeling very infernal, shall we say. But I got this, it reminded me of Spinal Tap skeleton hoodie from the charity shop that were doing a £3.50 sale. So I can be skeletal for an evening. Yeah, I have to say, anxiety has been like up and down this weekend, doing my best to just be a normal human. But gosh, it's hard, isn't it? It's super hard. Yeah, but I really miss my long hair. And this fringe is so long now. Yeah. So attempting to grow my hair, this is an exact replica of my internal structure. Hey, Heartless, welcome. Welcome, everybody. We haven't set a goal yet. Let's set a goal because it's a new fun thing. Let's set a timer. We'll write a song together. No worries, Heartless. It's lovely if you just check in. And yeah, don't forget to do a like. That always helps. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, any visitor is welcome for any amount of time that they can. Yeah, you're also welcome here. So I was hoping Will would turn up because I don't have a fact of the day or a celebrity birthday today. You need a big UV light. Well, Jim did give me this one, remember? I don't know, it's a bit bright in here, isn't it, for this? Yeah, you can get a bit of the UV glow going. I better not do that because oh, hey, Will. Will, if you have a science fact to hand, that would be fantastic. Neil's got a onesie, Skelly. Hooray! I love it. I sent you a message a bit ago. Where did you send it? Did you send it in the Discord? Let's have a look. In the meantime, we've got... I thought we could have a nice, joyful yellow light. Fact of the day, dogs are cute. Not the ones in Trench Crusade. Don't be messing around with any hellhounds is my advice. So today we have Mr. Pugh is ready and able. And in the chat, I thought we would light. Oh, it's a good science fact about light. Light is caused by an electrostatically charged particle, usually an electron slowing down. Light is the energy lost from this deceleration. Wow, that's fantastic and timely, as we'll be lighting a candle. And I think we're going to go for a bright yellow one, because we want to invite joy in. So we're going for yellow, which is Iron Fists, right? And that's extra yellow. Gorgeous. So I'm wondering if there's some extra sulfur in there or something to make that particularly yellow. Mellow yellow, absolutely. Will says, the light you see from stars is an electron poking another electron in the back of your eye from an incomprehensibly long distance. Imperial fists, thank you, not iron fists. How foolish. And it's Dolly Parton's birthday. I think that is fantastic. That's all we need. You can't do better than Dolly. Oof. Years and years and years away. How is everybody doing? How is January 2025 treating you? Please share something lovely that's happened to you in the chat, or if you're feeling a little bit low and you need some support, let us know and we can back you. And yeah, know that you're not alone, because we're all having Sunday scaries, or even those of us who are feeling good, you can just lean in and reassure the rest of us. The darkness you see in the sky is the darkness from the beginning of the universe, says Robbie. That's so poetic. Capri says yellow is Imperial Fist, Lamenters, or Craft World Eandon. Oh, I'm sorry you had a rubbish day at work, Neil. I'm glad you got some buddies together. That's always lovely. And as usual, I had a chat with the lovely... Had such a nice chat with Dan, and talked about all things Prospero Burns. And as usual, you know, I probably only asked 3 questions and he filled the whole time of the chat with his amazing stories. And yeah, Dan is just, I mean, if I had 8 hours with Dan, I don't think that would be enough time. But one of the things I really, really did want to publicize is that Dan's partner is a fantastically talented potter and makes lots of ceramics and things, and actually may be touring her latest project all around galleries around the UK, which is quite exciting. So I wanted to share details of that with you all. I've got it here. Yes, if people look up the Halpern Gallery, we'll see if this works. You can do a follow, and you can see Nicola Vincent Abnett's 144 Pots for 144 Women exhibition, which is quite moving. It's recognising that, you know, these are pots for women whose lives were being taken because of femicide, and the pots are absolutely beautiful. So she has a pot for each of these women, and they're all completely unique and beautiful with a lid. And they also have a picture of the women featured as well. I'm going to see if I can share with you some of the gorgeous, where is it? Yeah, I have the website ready. Bear with me while I type. Here we go. Bear with, bear with. Ugh, I hate when I'm just clicking and it's not working. Oh, I had it already. Where can they be? Here we go. We'll have to go to the old faithful Instagram. Oh, thank you so much. Incredible. Thank you, Neil. Welcome, welcome. Aucklin, Tylus, Irredeemable, Christopher McCafferty, and Matt B. Welcome to Mirror Manga YouTube channel. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Matt B, Irredeemable, Christopher McCaffrey, Tylus, and Aquilin. Thank you so much, Neil. That's very lovely of you. I nearly missed that. How did I nearly miss that happening? Okay. Here we go. Come on, internet. Don't let me down. Come on, my love. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, I can share the screen. Let's go. So, this is the pottery, and it's 144 pots for 144 women. And you can see they all have lids, so there's a little star one, there's a beautiful red and gold one with flower and leaves, all different ceramics with glazes. And then you can see here the intricacy of some of the designs. So yeah, really, really beautiful exhibition. So if you give the Halpin Gallery a follow, and show some support for that particular exhibition, that'd be lovely. And there are pictures of the women at the exhibition as well. And I believe, I haven't seen this in person, but I think there might be all their names on that pot as well. So yeah, just a really gorgeous artistic expression. I know, they're so beautiful. So it'd be lovely to extend some support. It's a great message and some beautiful art as well. Thank you so much, Neil. That's so beautiful. Thank you. And welcome to new members. So Mira Manga YouTube membership, you should be getting interviews earlier and the ability to ask questions and things. I did ask questions on behalf of lots of Grimdark buddies when I spoke to Dan, although he answered so many questions just through talking. Yeah, so that was really lovely. Yeah, they're really colourful. So yeah, nice comments and support, always good. And if you have any galleries that might entertain a gorgeous exhibit like that, please let them know. So what's everybody reading at the moment? I'm currently reading Crossfire, which is about a female arbiter, and I'm also reading the next book in the Horus Heresy series, which is a selection of short stories, Age of Darkness by Christian Dunn, which means sadly that I'm having to do all the book club notes for Ian. So that will be interesting. Dark Souls, hope you're feeling better today. It's so weird, like my anxiety just really comes and goes. I think I'm dealing with the same situation all the time, which is looking after mum. And sometimes I can just be at peace with it, and other times I'm like, what's going to happen? And I worry about the future, and yeah, it just ambushes you. What can you do? But yes, thank you very much for the book you sent me, Robbie, on anxiety, which I have been reading. Neil is still trying and failing to finish Betrayer into the last 100 pages. Oh, what made it so hard for you, Neil? Just trying to think of Betrayer. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to get through. I remember when I was reading Prospero Burns and there were so many disgustingly gross deaths and killings in the first quarter that I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but of course we managed to do it. Somebody's talking about Pandemonium. Heartless says, the matter that was made at the beginning of the universe 14 billion ago is what we're all made of. Wow. 14 billion? We're such a flash in the pan, aren't we? JCB, thumbs up. Thumbs up to JCB. JPC. We all want a JBC, don't we? Oh my God. Sean, a migraine for 20 days. I'm so sorry about that. Sending you so much love. Robbie said, I thought today I should have asked about Pandemonium. And Jim said he wouldn't be allowed to say anything about Pandemonium. Well, I didn't ask specifically about Pandemonium, but I said, is there anything that you're working on you can tell us about? And he said, well, I'm sure you know what I'm working on, but I can't possibly tell you. At which point I said, oh, but you'd tell us if you were working with Amazon and Henry Cavill, wouldn't you, Dan? And you'll have to wait and see the interview to see what he said to that. But the question we would all want to ask. Ninny says, dear God, Sean, that sounds grueling. Glad it broke. Really good, lovely use of English. I'm glad it broke too. Robbie on the second Ravener book. I really loved Eisenhorn and Ravener, and I'm going to reread them, I think, because I know so much more now at some point. When Pandemonium is announced, I might do a quick, sextuplet and get through everything. Capri, still Tale of Genji here. Ancient Japanese palace fun. Although I did just reread Prospero Burns in anticipation of the Abnet vid. Those of you who are Patreons and in Ian's patronage, Arbiter Ian, will have seen our videos on Prospero Burns, and also, yeah, I mean, you also will have seen another sneakily released early one, which would have been The First Heretic. Some people are saying The First Heretic is Arbiter and I best ever book club. Don't understand, but enjoy. Neil doesn't have much time to read at the moment. I hear that. David is finishing The Last of the Dragon Chronicles Omnibus. I love Dragonlance so much. Books from my childhood, forever. Tanis, I love. Remember Tizka. Jim can help with the notes. Thank you so much, Jim. Neil, we did talk about that catchphrase, that line, the Magnus did nothing wrong, and Dan has strong feelings on it, amazingly. Plumps down for one direct feeling. Philip, oh my goodness, Philip is at the end of the Heresy, Echoes of Eternity, down to the last 150 pages. And then it's the end and the death for you. What happens at the end of the Heresy? Dartharus, I find sometimes it's not so much the book being a struggle, but something else captures your brain space. Yes, exactly. My brain's being so bad. It's so annoying. Heartless says, Neil gets it. Heartless is reading Manflayer. Oh, what a horrible name for a book. Makes sense. It's about Fabius Bile. And still on a canticle for Leibovitz, says Dartharus. Magnus had no reason to think his actions would be so destructive because the Emperor never told him about chaos. But he did stay out of the warp, didn't he? The argument that could go on forever and ever. I'm just saying where Will Wheaton is. There we go. Will's still with us. And next to Will Wheaton, our Well Inspector Mini with his clipboard and his test tubes to test for dodgy poison in the water, or whether any of our wells have been illegally turned into magical wells. A little clipboard, because we're all big fans of clipboards. Here we go, clipboard. Lovely boots, a nice staff, a little knapsack. And I'm so excited to paint this year. This is going to be one of my rewards. And that's where he stands, a little bucket with a little frog in it. Because we love frogs in the Mirror Manga Green Dark Buddies as well. So he stands like this. I'm so excited to paint him. Yeah, and thank you so much, Robbie, for printing this out on your 3D printer and sending him to me. I actually broke him and I had to fix him. His staff broke when he fell, but I managed to glue him back together. So I was quite pleased about that. We should make a name and backstory for him. We should. We should. Do you remember? You have to remember that End and the Death is 3 books for plenty of reading to be done. I do remember. I am 56, 67 books away. Okay. Historic to Jamaldus is almost at the end of the Alana quadrology. I love the Alana books. They are great. Magnus was trying to warn him. I know. Irredeemable. Pretty sure I saw a ghost this morning. Holy hellfire. It's worth remembering Emperor's punishments are often ridiculously excessive. Yeah, he's strict, isn't he? Strict dad. And well done, Sean, for the design. The design is amazing. I'm very nervous about painting him because I think I'll make him look terrible, but we'll do what we can. Neil says, is that not William Tilliam Well? Yes, it could be Tilliam Well. We're all getting a bit anti-Emperor in here. And as you all know, at present, I am very loyal. As they say in Traitors, I'm a faithful. Tony, you just can't get the staff these days. Very good, very good. Yeah, Tony, you keep dropping them bombs. We love it. Thank you so much again for the membership, Neil. I can already feel the anxiety lifting a little bit. Let's get into our Tower of Terror. So I'm going to open up and let's pop Steam on the screen. Oh, Robbie, thank you so much. Oh, sugar. Robbie's popped in a £5. I have kind of gamed the system a little bit. I've only given 45 minutes to get 10 goals. I think it might be stacked against it happening, but that's okay. I'm just, I want to give the people what they want, and we had fun singing last time. But don't worry if it doesn't. Robbie, I think, the next time we go for a ramble, I'll have to make up a song if we don't get one today. Rudy, I just got my first resin mini. Very happy with the quality. A nice Qua sharpshooter. What's a Qua? Answers in the chat, please. Yay. Thank you so much, Robbie. Let's give Robbie an effect. Yeehaw. Any David Lynch fans here? So sad at his passing. Watched Mulholland Drive last night. Yeah, I mean, my Instagram threads have been completely deluged with David Lynch, and I absolutely love him. I think I've got some, just looking in the lower shelves of my bookcase. Forgive me for turning my back. I did have lots of twin themed books on my shelves somewhere. I should have pulled them out, but somebody gave me the secret history of Twin Peaks or something. These are very cool. These are all my weird science magazines that I've ever written for. They look so cool. They're really beautiful, and there's so much stuff in all of them. If you're interested in gaming, they're available on the internet. Okay, one last look for this Twin Peaks book, if I can find it. No, I'm afraid they shall not be revealed on this occasion, but I'll look for them for next time. Mulholland Drive is a masterpiece to my mind. Quaquarium from Mass Effect. Don't know. Quite a super cool. Mira, have you seen the secret level episode on Warhammer? I have. I was a little bit disappointed because I think if I played Space Marines 2, I would have been more into it because I would have known who that character was. But I was thinking they could have done something a bit more narrative. Do you know what I mean? And it's a shame that they didn't do that. But I was really pleased to see it included. I'm so excited. I think I'm kind of resigned to the fact that whatever Amazon picks up is going to be 40k and nothing to do with the heresy. So no Primarchs, which really kind of makes me sad. But I think I just have to accept that the heresy is very niche. And one day I'd like to do some research and find out how many heresy players there are compared to 40k players, and I bet it's like 3% of Games Workshop fans play heresy games. Anyway, Heartless Ninny, it's a movie about an unreliable narrator. That's my interpretation anyway. Heartless, I think David Lynch would say all interpretations are right. They're all correct, so I think he'd approve of any interpretation. I just know that David Lynch loves a doppelganger, loves doubles. And he would probably also appreciate fighting fantasy. So, oh gosh, yeah. Sorry, someone's just texted me to remind me. We also have Miramanga merch. This is not very well ironed, but this is the Mournival t-shirt. Horace Garviel, Tariq and Ezekiel on a t-shirt. Ta-da! Yeah, I've talked about my merch. You can get the merch. Sorry, I didn't show it very well. Yes, we do merch on this channel. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to be a real YouTuber. I'm horrible at it. But if you would like to find my merch, you can go on Redbubble, and I have a shop there and also products on the YouTube. Okay, cringe. Qua are from a miniatures game by Zombie Smith Games, World War One-ish, on an alien planet populated by human-like anteaters. Well, let me tell you what, Trench Crusade is a World War One setting which is beyond belief. I don't know if I could handle any more World War One settings with the denizens of hell seeping into reality. Space Marines, Space Marining, Space Marines might be a bit hard to sell to people who aren't already fans. Yay, Alex got the Mournival tee for Christmas. Oh, did you buy the one in black, Alex? I wondered who bought that. Kudos, thank you for doing that. Goodbye, Heartless. Take good care of yourself. Thank you so much for coming this evening. We appreciate you. Okay, shall we jump back into the Tower of Terror? The barge is neither very large nor designed for paying passengers, but you find a coil of thick rope on which to lie. Just to remind gamers, we joined this nefarious looking barge with some skullduggery knaves manning it, and we are on our way, on our adventures. After your long walk, you are soon sound asleep, and do not wake until one of the crew taps you on the shoulder to say that Port Blacksand is in sight. You stand up and watch the sinister-looking city grow larger as you approach. 10 minutes later, you pass under a great arch to enter the city walls. The crew soon have the barge moored, obeying the frantic orders of the captain, who is obviously eager to load up his waiting cargo and leave before nightfall. You bid them all farewell and set about looking for a place to stay the night. The shadows start to lengthen as you walk through the narrow streets and alleyways. Suddenly, an old man in tattered clothes jumps out of the doorway and says, "Looking for a bed, stranger? I know a good place that offers room, soup and bread for only 1 gold piece. If you're interested, follow me." So, if you want to follow the old man, please type pay into the chat. Or if you'd rather keep looking on your own, type nope. Pay or nope into the chat. And we'll take a vote. Jim says, 30% of the players at my club play Heresy. Most play 40k as well. Can you play as a Primarch if you play Heresy? Could I say, I invoke Fulgrim and I bring him onto the table? You must be able to because they make minis. Trust no one, says David Gibb. Hello, David. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am sorry, we do have more grey members than usual. Please consider buying a Mirror Manga membership. It does mean we get more greens in the chat and you get lots of added extras. See, look at me doing all my YouTube stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4 saying nope. Neil says pay him. Capri says pay him, nothing sus here. Sean says pay, he's not an elf selling candles. Oh, that stings. Dartharus, on the subject of trenches, I saw you've got Andy Chambers joining the Trench Crusade team. Are you excited? Am I excited? Yes, he entered the work Slack today. Andy popped into the Trench Crusade work Slack. It was incredible. Neil says all of the Primarchs can be played in Heresy. And Jim agrees. Or maybe I need to collect them and paint them. Song by Ralph McTell about the streets of Blacksand. Robbie says, our Heresy game's quite new. Tony says pay, which means we've got a draw because 4 people said nope and then 4 people said pay. Neil says the Heresy tabletop game's been around for 6 to 7 years. Interesting. We are at a tie. Shall I flip a coin online? Nope, Dartharus is noped us out. So I will place a bookmark because just in case, and we would rather keep looking on our own. Oh gosh. Jim says each Primarch costs about 60 quid. What? How big are these minis? Why do they cost so much? Do they come with lots of little bits? Anyway, no matter, we've chosen to adventure on without receiving the help of the old man because we are very suspicious. Looking up, we see a road sign indicating that we are in Clog Street. Oh my goodness, wouldn't it be cool if we recognise these road names from our last adventures here? You walk down it all the way until it ends at a T-junction where it meets Harbour Street, which runs parallel to the shore. You look out to sea and watch the setting sun sink slowly beneath the horizon. Darkness envelops you and you wonder where to go next. At the end of the street to your left, there are lights shining in windows and you can just hear the sound of singing and laughter. You decide to head towards the lights and soon find yourself outside the Black Lobster Tavern. You walk through the doorway into a smoke-filled room where seedy-looking characters sit at crowded tables, laughing, joking and singing. You walk straight up to the barman and ask if he has a room for rent. Luckily, there is one available. You pay him 1 gold piece and ask if he knows of any ships which may be sailing south the next morning. I might do, he replies somewhat cagily, but information does not come free in Port Blacksand. Another gold piece and I'll introduce you to the ship's mate. Once again, you reach into your pocket and pay the barman. He leads you over to one of the booths along the far wall of the tavern and points out a man with a silk scarf tied over his bald head and an ugly scar running down from his left ear to the middle of his chin. Gargo is his name, says the barman. You sit down next to Gargo, introduce yourself, and ask if you can buy passage south. 10 gold pieces and you'll have to work for your food, comes the curt reply. Gargo does not look like a man to bargain with, so you agree to his price and pay. We set sail 1 hour after sunrise. The name of the ship is Belladonna, and you'll find her at the end of the jetty leading down from the tavern. I'll see you in the morning. I'm going back to the ship now, says Gargo. You decide not to get involved with any of the tavern's characters, but to retire to your room. You stand up and walk towards the stairs, but a large man carrying 3 flasks of ale bumps into you, spilling the drinks on the floor. Whoops! Gargo handles the cargo, says Jim. If you wish to offer to buy him more ale, please type ale into the chat. If you would rather tell him not to be so clumsy, please type nope into the chat. Let's see who of us in the chat is cruising for a bruising. Neil says the Primark models are resin too, which is a pain to build and paint. I remember my Citadel miniatures were very malleable metal. I'm not sure which one is more environmentally friendly nowadays. Robbie says, I guess Heresy's quite daunting. Maybe that's why people don't read or play it. Neil says Heresy is loosely based on 7th edition 40k rules. I believe we're on about edition 7000 of 40k rules. No, 11, something like that. It's becoming a lot more popular now that they're releasing many more plastic kits for Heresy, says Darterus. Tony, I bet you Gargo says ARG at some point. And then we've got votes, so let's count for ale. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people who probably just want a drink. And then I've got 1, 2, 3 saying nope. So overwhelmingly in support of buying more booze. And Capri says clumsy. Never admit fault in a deadly tavern situation. Rudy points out Belladonna's a scary name for a ship. Ain't it so? It is indeed. It is indeed. Okay, so we're going to bookmark here just in case. And we're going to offer to buy him more ale. Although the man bumped into you, he shouts and curses until the 3 flasks are filled again. Yet another gold piece is spent in paying for his drinks, and you begin to wonder how long your money will last. Let's see how much money we've got left. 7 gold. I mean, I had 1 gold the other day. Maybe I feel rich today. You lose 1 luck point. Eek. That sucks. But we still have fairly high luck, so we'll just take it in our stride. You finally manage to leave the bustling bar and lock yourself inside your room. You wake at dawn after a restless night, scratching madly at inflamed bites. Oh no! From the bed bugs in your straw mattress. No! 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 Someone said bed bugs on the channel. Oh, Mr. Pugh, tell me there are no bed bugs in our home. Oh no! Oh no! Magical unicorn friend. Okay. I know, guys. It's just a game, but I wasn't expecting the bed bugs. Okay. Wasting no more time in the Black Lobster. You make your way down to the jetty to the Belladonna, which you notice is flying the skull and crossbones, the flag of a pirate ship. Walking cautiously up the gangplank, you step aboard the ship. I'm so sorry to make you itchy, David Gibb, but regular followers will know that I went into a deep and scary panic spiral around bedbugs. Yeah, I know I have issues. Sean, I'd rather we found snakes in the bed. Sean, just because you live in Australia and that's something that happens on a Tuesday doesn't mean we wish it over here in the UK. So I'll thank you to keep your snakes, but I appreciate the sentiment. finding almost anything else in bed is better. Jim says, ales are as expensive in London here. 3 pints are the same as a room for the night. Welcome to London. Okay, we are heading on to the pirate ship. You walk around the ship until you find Gargo. He tells you that one of his gunners was killed in a tavern brawl last night and that you will have to take his place. Your job will be to load cannonballs during battle. Okay, no training. You're just assuming we would know how to do this. We are taken below deck and shown our hammock. I'm happy about a hammock because surely hammocks couldn't get bed bugs. Tony says these are fantasy bed bugs. They're tiny unicorns. Okay, let's say that. In mid-afternoon, there's a sudden shout from the crow's nest. Ship on the starboard bow! The ship is suddenly bustling with crew running about their duties. The captain shouts his orders and everybody runs to their battle stations. Wondering who the enemy might be, you take your place at the cannon. You hear the bad news that the enemy is a man of war and not a merchant ship. Wait, that's bad news for the pirates because we wouldn't want to fire on merchant navies. That leads to famine and suffering for the normal people. Noise suddenly erupts all around as the man of war's cannonballs smash into the Belladonna. The order is given to fire, but you realise that the Belladonna is no match for the battleship. In the course of the fierce battle, the Belladonna starts to sink and you fear for your life. Test your skill, Neil says, getting big Pirates of the Caribbean here. Robbie says you get grain weevils in your biscuits instead. I actually have had weevils. They were also horrible. Oh, okay. So we need to roll under our skill. So I'm going to put insert a digit into the virtual pages with a bookmark. 8. You deftly passed the skill check. Excellent. Hooray! As the ship starts to sink. Whoa, we're really on a sinking ship in this adventure. I wasn't expecting that, but that's glorious. I'm here for that. As the ship starts to sink, all the cannon crew run towards the wooden steps that lead to the upper deck. You are one of the first to reach the steps and manage to get on deck just as the ship goes underwater. If you wish to grab a piece of the masthead and drift away from the man of war, please type away in the chat. If you wish to swim towards the man of war, please type towards in the chat. Yeah, away or towards, let me know. I'm going to see if I can give us some stats on our current live as we play together. Sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't. So this is an experimente. Content. I'm feeling content. So far, we've had 44 views and there are 19 current viewers. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging in. Please, please, please do a like and a subscribe if you're new to the channel. Every little helps. And if we get to 10,000 viewers, we're going to read the Night Lords, apparently. Still no tower, says Tony. Noted, Tony. We need to hustle towards this tower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people say towards. How many people say away? David says away. I don't want to get done as a pirate. And Capri says, away to fate and the storm-tossed seas. How poetic. I love that. Almost persuaded, were it not for the overwhelming votes towards. Well Inspector Will says, weevils are pretty gross, but actually edible. Wow. Still don't want them in my house. Do you know what I mean? But grateful to know that they're of use. I mean, what would a weevil taste like? Let's not go down this particular insectoid side chat. But indeed, let us swim towards the man of war. And I will place a bookmark here so we can revisit this decision should we need to. You swim furiously towards the man of war and wave your arms to attract attention. A rope is thrown down to you and you haul yourself onto the victor's ship. Much to your surprise, the crew are made up entirely of dwarfs. The captain questions you and other members of the sunken Belladonna's crew, who have also been brought aboard. You tell the captain that you are on an important mission which started at the dwarf village of Stonebridge. The captain eyes you suspiciously, accusing you of being no more than a desperate pirate. So you say you started in your quest in Stonebridge, says the captain. If that is the case, tell me, who is their king? Now, I have no idea, but please check out the two spellings. We've got a Galibrin and a Gillibrin. If you think that his name is Galibrin, please type an A into the chat. If you think his name is Gillibrin, crikey, I can't even say it. Galibrin or Gillibran, please type one of those into the chat. Neil says Gillibran, and we all know that he owns the book at home. Hi, Grace. Trust in Neil. Well Inspector says Gilly. Caprice says Gillibran. I'm just going to let my dear friend know that if she needs to come in, she can. I don't want her to sequester herself. Grace, if you need anything, you can come in and out. I'm doing the streaming, but you're all welcome. Okay, what have we got in the chat? The Anne one, says David. Gillibran. Neil, I have said book in my hand. Sean, I trust Neil. Tony says all Bran. I think we do all trust Neil, so let's follow Neil's advice. And Gillibran. The captain laughs and says, stranger, you are telling the truth, but I fear you have a lot of explaining to do. That evening over dinner, you tell the captain and his crew about your mission and its importance. Obviously concerned with the impending doom about to befall the good people of Alancia, the captain offers to sail south to the Desert of Skulls. Yes, Tony, I know, still no tower. 2 days later, the man-of-war drops anchor and you are rowed ashore to a white sandy beach. With your provisions restored to provide for 10 meals, courtesy of the ship's cook. Oh, that's so sweet. You wave goodbye and set off on foot. All you can see is sand and the desert landscape stretches as far as the horizon. If you wish to walk east, please type east into the chat. Or if you would rather walk south along the coast, please type south. It's been a long time since we've had a purely directional option. I'm interested to see what everyone would like to do. Let's see. 10-day beach holiday. It is feeling a bit... what's the word? It's like we're back on the highway one, you know, post-apocalyptic, back in the desert. Philip and Neil would like to go east, and so would Will. Rudy wants to go south. Rudy can't fail. Your name inspires me, Rudy. At the moment, we are 3 votes for east and 1 vote to south. 4 votes for east. So it looks as though east is the way to go. Come on, Tillium. East, says Tony. As you walk steadily east, you are suddenly aware of a buzzing sound overhead. You look up and see 3 giant wasp-like insects hovering above your head. Suddenly, one of 3 needle flies dives down at you. Oh, crikey, look, this is where our spell choice comes into play. If you can and wish to use 6 stamina to cast 3 magic arrow spells, well, we can't do that. We're going to have to fight! Dartharis is not thrilled about the idea of straying from the water. Neither am I, Neil, believe you me. Okay, as usual, I am going to cheat. It's quite a puny enemy, though, to be... I'm not too concerned. 6 stamina, I know, Will. What's that all about? Caprice, tempted to stay on the beach. If only the fate of Alancia were not at risk, we could definitely sunbathe. 2nd needle fly. Oh, crikey. I don't know why we were going to win anyway. Snake eyes. Oof, no double sixes for the competitors. We'll knock you right down to a 2. It's hard doing dice maths quickly. I can't even speak while I'm counting. Come on. Third flipping bloody needle fly. Let's go. At least we don't have to roll for damage in this adventure. That really grinds my gears. Yeehaw! 21. We are triumphant. Huzzah! Of course we are. We cheat like little naughty imps. Tony, 10 days picnic food and the wasps turn up. Yep. Say less, say less. Sean says, bit mean that the dwarfs dropped us in the middle of nowhere. I know, wasn't it? They could have escorted us. A river delta or something else would have been more sensible, says Dartharus. You step over the grounded needle flies and continue your trek. After half an hour's steady walking, you stumble upon a robed man lying face down in the sand. If you wish to stop to look inside a leather pouch clutched in the hand of the dead man, if you would like to loot the corpse, please type loot in the chat. If you would like to keep on walking, please type walk. I'm no judgment. We listen and we don't judge. Loot or walk. I remember when we first started these games, we used to say things like, use your voice and make a choice in the chat. We had all kinds of rhyming couplets like that. Neil, Rudy and Philip all want to loot. Sean says loot, fingers crossed for a snake. Oh, Sean. Tony wants to loot and so does Dartharus. He better not have a snake in his glove box. We're all scarred from the last adventure and that blooming snake, aren't we? That was really not fun. Loot, same thought as Sean, says Will. And Alex says, gotta be loot. Okay. Let's pop a bookmark in. Okay. And give you a live update. We've got 21 live viewers at present and 49 views altogether. Thank you so much, 21 people. We placed a bookmark and we are now going to loot the dead man. The pouch contains nothing except a small golden key, which we all know will be required to end the game. So we slip it into our pocket and continue our trek. Ooh, what's this? A blazing sun, a skeletal figure, and a camel or a dromedary. Walk, probably some kind of wasp larvae in there, says David. Too late, David, but luckily just a golden key. In the shimmering haze of the desert heat, you suddenly see a shape moving towards you. As it grows nearer, you see that it's someone riding a camel. Now, I'm confused. I thought camels had 2 humps and dromedaries had 1 hump. This looks like it only has 1 hump, unless it's got 2 very small humps. Either way, somebody's riding a camel towards us. Do we want to speak to them or would we rather lie low? You better lie low. Please type speak or hide into the chat and we will decide whether we speak to the desert rider or we better lie low. Dromedary is 2, Bactrian is 1. Both are camels. Thank you, Neil. I was waiting for I was waiting for Will, but Will was too busy saying the golden key could still hatch into a wasp. Worth it. Sometimes stepping out of science for the excellent zingers. We love it. Okay. Robbie, Phil, Will and Neil would all like to speak to the camel rider. As Caprice says, they've seen us already. And Tony says, if we annoy him, he'll get the hump. Very nice. Very nice. Gold stars for the golden key, wasp, and annoying and hump jokes. Okay, we're going to speak to the desert rider. On seeing you, the desert rider draws his sword and brings his camel to a halt. You call him out, saying, you do not wish to fight him. You learn that he's on his way to join a merchant's caravan. You ask him if he has any water to spare, and he offers to sell you a canister, but not for money. Because, of course, if you can and wish to trade either a silver button or a pearl for a canister of water, you may. Well, we mayn't, as we have neither. Crikey blimey. Robbie says, don't get many chances to speak to a talking camel. Capri says, oof, I wonder where those important trade things were. Hands up who thinks we're going to die of thirst in this desert. Me. Okie dokie, karaoke. Let's head on. After bidding farewell to the desert rider, you set off east once again. Quite unexpectedly, the wind starts to blow and the sky grows dark. The wind becomes a howling gale and whisks up the sand, making it almost impossible to see. You are stranded in the middle of a sandstorm. You lose 2 stamina points. How are we doing on stamina? We are very healthy still. Test your luck. We need it low. We are lucky. Of course we are, because we cheat. Okay. When the sandstorm finally dies down, you see a shining object protruding from the sand. You reach down, tug on the object, and discover that it's a brass handbell. You place it into your backpack and press on east. As the day draws on, your thirst becomes almost unbearable, but because we are geniuses, we are able to cast a create water spell. Hallelujah! Who'd forgotten that? Me. You cup your hands together and chant the create water spell. Water suddenly fills your hands and you gulp it down in long, delicious mouthfuls. Yay! I'll have some too. Gulp. The afternoon sun continues to beat relentlessly down, its intensity causing shimmering waves of heat to rise from the parched sand. You separate your hands to halt the flow of water and you press on across the desert. So we could have just kept our hands like that the whole way through the desert. But, you know, we can cast it again. Congratulations, thank you, Will, for being the one to suggest that spell. Very, very lucky we did that. Neil says, there's a camel professor in the Pratchett novel Pyramids called You Bastard. He's hilarious. Tony forgot that spell. David says, Neil, that book, Pyramids, was the first Terry Pratchett book I ever read, and now a lifetime's obsession. Oh, I love that. We have got... Oh no! Who is that? Oh, I found Gobbo on the floor. We've got Terry Pratchett Pyramids. I think you can see him here as well. Capri says, I have had Pyramids read by Tony Robinson on cassette as a kid. Listened to it so many times. How many gags do you reckon are in this book? Here's the camel bit. You bastard turned his long neck around. His great hairy eyebrows made accusing curves as his yellow eyes narrowed and took a fix on the high priest. And he put aside the interesting problem for a moment and dredged up the familiar ancient maths that his race had perfected long ago. Let range equal 41 feet. Let wind speed equal 2. Vector 1/8. Cud. Let glutenosity equal 7. Tepic drew a throwing knife. Dios took a deep breath. He's going to order them to fire on us, Tepic thought. In my own name, in my own kingdom, I'm going to be shot. Angle 2-5, Cud, fire. It was a magnificent volley. The gob of cud had a commendable lift and spin and hit with a sound like a half pound of semi-digested grass hitting someone in the face. There was nothing else it could sound like. The silence that followed was by way of being a standing ovation. The landscape began to distort again. This was clearly not a place to linger. You bastard looked down at his front legs. Let legs equal 4. He lumbered into a run. Camels apparently have more knees than any other creature, and you bastard ran like a steam engine with lots of extraneous movement at right angles to the direction of motion, accompanied by a thunderous barrage of digestive noises. Bloody stupid animal, muttered Patracy as they jolted away from the palace, but it looks like it's finally got the idea. Gouge invariant repetition rate of 3.5 ounces. What's she talking about? Bloody stupid lives over in Zort. Though they swung through the air as though jointed with bad elastic, you bastards' legs covered a lot of ground, and already they were bouncing through sleeping, packed earth streets of the city. It's starting again, isn't it? Said Patracy. I'm going to shut my eyes. Very good. Jelly baby. I thought it was called jalabi. Jalebi. Jalebis after the Indian sweets. That just shows my upbringing. And this is the little gobbo that I got from Dragon Meat. Anyway, yes, Jelly Baby makes more sense. So yeah, that was a little Terry Pratchett side encounter. But thank you so much for talking about pyramids. It is a fantastic novel. Yes, much beloved. I agree with all of you. It seems our channel is a big Pratchett loving channel, and I'm so happy for that. Half an hour later, you see a low brown tent, which you recognise as the type used by desert nomads. A horse is tethered to one of the tent pegs. If we wish to make contact with the nomad, we would turn to 196. If we would rather head south, we would turn to 389. But for now, I think we will leave this place and return to our main screen. Yay. Oh, what a lovely little piece of gameplay. I'm just going to grab a little portrait that I had done to show you all because it's cute. So, one of my colleagues is called Katie with an IE Cottle, and she is an illustrator, and she did this little drawing of me. Somebody else you can also support on Instagram. Yeah, it's very cute if you Google Katie Cottle. Yeah, and share some love for the imagery. You know, artists are making our world go round, and times are tough for everybody, especially if you're in the creative industries. So yeah, little things like a like and subscribe make everybody's life much happier. If you fancy it, no pressure. I know a lot of people don't actually use social media very much as well. I think I'm going to need to figure out a way. He's got wire in his cloak. How cool is that? Yeah. So we are coming to the end of our stream. So I have a couple of videos that I'm working on. One is Steve Conlin, the voice actor that's worked on a lot of Black Library, and the other one is Dan Abnett. I'm really torn which video to edit first. The Steve Conlin video was due to come out in December because he is James' workshop and he's very Christmassy, but he also requires a long theme song, and so I'm really kind of torn over, because I have promised myself to try and put in some edit hours this week, but I'm working away some of it. So let me know in the chat how I should be ordering these videos. Steve Conlin and then Dan, or Dan and then Steve. They're both fantastic interviews. Both interviewees give so much. Yeah, it's really such a privilege to talk to people like that. And yeah, I'm going to try and get in touch with Christian Dunn to talk about the next book. And also the author Matthew, forgotten his surname, of Crossfire. So fingers crossed I'll be getting in touch with them too. Anybody else pooped? Just me? Let's do a final stats check. Channel content. I need to get better at doing this. I'd suggest Steve first, get the oldest one done. I agree, and I will feel bad if Steve feels like not loved, because he was so accommodating and friendly, and we had loads of tech issues and he hung in there, which is super kind. What I will do is, if you are a Patreon or a Mirror Manga YouTube member, I will try and upload the Dan and Steve interviews earlier. Then normies will get them. Normies, is that okay to say? I'm not sure. I want to say thank you so much for what YouTube calls fan funding. Neil, thank you so much for the 5 Mirror Manga memberships. We really appreciate that. And Robbie, thank you so much for the £5. I'm sorry we didn't have time to sing a song. Maybe next time I don't know, we'll make it easier to get to the fan funding. So I think right now, my computer's skills are not good tonight. I don't know if I can tell us what we're doing. Oh, it was a great stream. Thank you so much, Dark Souls. Studio mode. Yeah, we had 52 views and we have 23 live viewers. Woohoo! So those are our stats. Thank you so much. Good night, Robbie. Have a good round. I hope you're feeling good and healthy. And cuddles to Jasper for me. Thank you for the compliment, Dark Souls. Good night, Tony. Thank you for your zingers. We really appreciate them. Thank you so much to our moderators. They're the boys in blue, Sean and Jim, and our amazing Will, who's also the best science officer ever. Thank you so much. Ooh, thank you, Sean sent a unicorn. Thank you. We love a unicorn. Remember, bed bugs are just baby unicorns. Have a great week, Caprice. And Neil, yes, Neil says the event should kick off probably next time. Oh, let me see if I can do a dancing skeleton for you all. Hang on. I'm a skeleton, I'm a skeleton, I have skeleton on. I have a scary skeleton head. You're not supposed to skeleton up. How does that work? Yeah, have a great week, skeleton friends. These are great. Thanks so much, Jim, for the UV lights. They make my grey hair grow in the dark. Be so cool. Okay. Yes, thank you for the indulgence. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Sorry, that was a little bit bonkers, wasn't it? And the skeleton song does go. Okay, Alex, so lovely. Thank you so much as usual for your gardening pictures and insight. I'm going to think about pruning my roses soon, Alex. I shall let you know how that goes. Have a great week. No trolls today. Yay! That makes me so hopeful. Please stay away, trolls. Have a great week yourself. Lots of love, Tony. Goodbye, friends. I'm going to stop the stream now. Take good care of yourselves and your friends and family, everybody. Good luck.